So there's, according to this person on Twitter, they are reportedly saying that these police officers were working with the cops. They said police officer tells Proud Boys to hide inside building because they're about to tear gas protesters. The officer said he was warning them discreetly because he didn't want protesters to see police play favorites. Let's play the video.
Really enforce the citywide curfew shutdown so we can arrest anybody who's walking around. Okay. My command wanted me to come talk to you guys and request that you guys secrete either inside businesses or in your vehicles somewhere where it's not a violation. I don't think so we don't look like we're playing favorites. Gotcha. We can go interior. That would really enforce the citywide.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I take everything on Twitter with a grain of salt, but this is from a TikTok, actually. And it said they were trying to identify the guy, and it says, update, he's been identified. I sent out another tweet with his name and another video of him and his Proud Boys. And this is the Salem Police Department. So, again, I don't think it's far-fetched to know this, because the police was started to go after slaves. I mean, it is inherently a racist system. A lot of members of the police were members of the KKK. This is nothing new. I think a lot of people just didn't want to believe that, right?
Yeah. Because, again, you know, if you grew up middle-class white person, like I did, you were taught the cops were good, and what you saw, they looked good. You know, you would go, oh, there's a cop. Okay, things will be okay now. You know, like you never saw the cops just single you out and hassle you. I mean, when I was in high school, I did some stupid vandal shit. I smashed them, and we got arrested a couple of times. Carload full of suburban white kids. They gave us a slap on the wrist and said, you know, don't do that again. Boys will be boys. You know, and we all knew our parents were going to pay for our college. So, you know, that's where that, like, well, the cops aren't all bad. Like I was causing problems. Of course I got busted. No, but they didn't kick my head and they didn't write me up and give me I didn't do.
Well, you're alive.
Yeah, I'm alive, for starters. I could have gotten 90 days juvenile hall. They could have arrested me for a year. I mean, they could have put me in the system, and then where would I be? And so, because, and look, the you know, this whole thing of like, oh, Antifa stands for anti-fascists, right? So yeah. I had two uncles that fought fascists in World War II. So how is that a bad thing? And these are fascists. And we have people who are Nazis and in the KKK. You're against America. You should be held treason. Every World War II veteran is a member of Antifa. Every World War II memorial is a memorial to anti-fascists, to put their lives on the line to go kill fascists and stop them, because Hitler, Mussolini, and Hirohito were fascists. So there's fascists in this country, and just because they have badges of a gun or they're white guys and they've got an American eagle painted on their pickup truck, they are still fascists, and they are against the American flag. They are against the goddamn Constitution of America and the Declaration of Independence, and they need to be rounded up and taken out.
So, unfortunately, a former CIA officer would disagree with you, Graham. He thinks
oh no, really? The CIA's on the wrong side of something? That's weird.
So let's watch this video on Tucker Carlson. This guy just goes off and blames everybody from Marxists to the Black Panthers to Bernie Bros. Let's hear what he has to say.
Now, let's just cut to the chase, Tucker. This country is on fire. We are facing an insurrection by people that we don't quite understand who they are, but by all indications, they are violent leftist thugs. And what Secretary Esper doesn't quite seem to get either is that the nation is panicking. 71% of us want the National Guard in our cities tonight. 58% of us want the military in our cities tonight. All right, the people are panicking. The country is on fire. Now, who is attacking us? Mr. Esper should know this. Right. It's Antifa, Department of Justice, NYPD. Others are saying this very clearly. These are people, by the way, that we faced back in the 1960s and 70s and early 80s. These were people who were far leftist, Marx Lenin, folks who embraced that ideology, they allied with Black Panther movements, and it took many years to finally put it down. Very dangerous. And now this same group, who is allied, by the way, with the Democratic Socialists, we're talking to Bernie Bros and Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, they're back.
Oh,
they're back with firebombs. They're back with bricks in our suburbs and our downtowns. That's something that Mr. Esper clearly doesn't understand. And then finally, we have a media that is feeding this flame, this horrific fire, this seditiousness. You have brought this up many times, including tonight. Let me read a headline from Slate magazine. Just yesterday, it said the following. Peaceful protests are an important tool, but so is violence. So now we have a media filling the airways full of this crap.
Yeah.
Put it all together. And the piece that you mentioned, no more police, because we're going to defund those folks. We can't put forward the National Guard because that would be escalation. So now we take off the military from the table. What does that leave, Tucker? Let me tell you what it leaves. Vigilante justice.
That's exactly
it's you
right.
and me and everybody watching this program arming ourselves. Is that how we run a republic? No, sir, it is not. And you do not want a country that goes there. And that is precisely where the nation is headed. And we need for all of our leadership to understand that. And if Secretary Esper doesn't get it, doesn't understand that the oath is to protect ourselves from threats, both foreign and domestic, by...
Yeah. So, hey, Graham, is this country a republic?
No, yeah, that's funny. That's funny too. There's so many comedy bits in that. This is a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. And that for the CIA, what is happening in America, this is how the CIA destabilizes countries and gets power. So this is what they're doing. And I mean, it's unbelievable to me. Violence never solved anything. You're right. You're right. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and those guys, they were, like this guy. So I guess the Boston Tea Party was a bunch of hoodlums and vandals and wasting good tea and polluting the Boston the harbor. Like, and the fact that he's from the CIA and that's revered, that shows you how much the CIA propaganda machine is. I mean, has Tucker Carlson ever done a segment on Operation Mockingbird or MK Ultra or Operation Paperclip? If he has, he wouldn't have this guy on without asking him a bunch of pointed questions. And that, I mean, this is what, look, Fox News is to keep old white people terrified. That's what Fox News is designed to do. And MSNBC is to misinform people who consider themselves liberal who aren't. Or they're just neoliberals.
And so this guy was a Democrat before, by the way. He used to be a Democrat. Then he became a Republican, and he does speaking engagements, and he consults. He does consulting. Yeah. It was just funny when he was talking about, maligning the Black Panthers. If anybody knows anything about the Black Panther, they're actually the most dangerous threat, I think, and they realized it quickly with Fred Hampton by murdering him, because he didn't just talk about race. He talked about economic inequality and the capitalism being the enemy and the oligarchs being the enemy. And those are the direct threat to people like this man, the CIA, because the moment people take this to the next level and we all come together and realize, holy crap, yes, police brutality is an arm of the oligarchy, but it's only an arm. We need to go after the direct oligarchy. We need to go to these people's houses, like Graham said, and demand a UBI, Medicare for all, police, end to police brutality, etc. That's when we're going to get what we want. If people realize that, though, if the mainstream media isn't there to flip their narrative and people realize it, then yes, we are a danger. We are a threat to these people that are on there speaking lies, propaganda to the public. So
the CIA's whole mission is to push the American empire and its capitalism and its hegemony. That's what the CIA was designed to do, and through fear and all this stuff. Yeah.